Alright, so now that we're in my clan dojo, this right here is the elevator. If the elevator is by any chance is on the bottom floor, this door won't open up, so you have to come to here to call it. But it's already on the bottom floor, so we have to call it. Just like I alright, I thought it was on the top floor, but whatever. But yeah, going downstairs, we'll have this. And by any moment you can press up, and that will give you the legend for the map, as well as it will increase the map size so you can see what the map looks like. That is the upstairs floor. So I don't know why it's still showing the upstairs floor. It's probably because I'm still in the elevator. But once I leave this elevator, it'll bring me onto the bottom floor. And the bottom floor looks like this. And this is basically a lot smaller than the upstairs. And the reason behind that is because my downstairs in my clan is basically, I have the clan upstairs being built out this way. So it's going more this way. And then I have the downstairs going the opposite way. So that way I can go up with the reactors. Down here is the Oracle room, which is what you use to allow clans to build the research stuff. And then opposite of this, I have the clan and alliance stuff, which I can't really do anything with anymore because there is a thing that's active or not active, which is a solar rail. So you must research blueprints for projects before you can begin to construct your solar rail. And what solar rail is basically you can take resources and payment from other people on missions that they complete if you have possession of that mission or that planet or whatever, which we can't do because I can't research any of this stuff from the solar rail, because in order to research it, I can't research because it's disabled during armistice, which I have to wait for the armistice to go away, which I have no clue as to when that's going to be. I have looked up multiple times as to when that's going to be, and I'm getting nothing, so I can't do anything with solar rail just yet. And again, this will be where you look at all that stuff, and you'll be able to decide like payment and tax and stuff. When it comes to trading, you can decide what the trade tax is for people who aren't in your clan. If they trade, they will have to pay an extra tax fee to contribute to the clan and stuff like that. So if we just go around here, we can go to this side of it all, and what this side of it all is the reactors. Now this right here is another fast travel point, which you can use to teleport to certain places, but that's become basically null and void with the whole fast travel system that they've added in. So you can fast travel to the research labs and also the dry dock, but this is also needed for fast traveling to the trading station, or to fast travel down here to the Orkin reactor section of the dojo. So this is what the Orkin reactors look like, and you can build it up or down. So right now you can see the floor that I'm on, and then I can do this, and you can see the floor that will be next in line down there, or next in line up there. And because I can climb and scale walls, I can do this, or maybe I can't. But you could normally just basically get up there in some way and just keep getting up to the higher and higher in the floor, even though you don't have a floor up here, so the doors won't open, but you can still kind of scale up here. And when you're up here, it's just, well, you've kind of gotten to where you can't or shouldn't be, so you're going to see this. So you're not really supposed to be up here, so therefore, you know, you kind of get the whole broken mess. And obviously if you go too far down, it just automatically teleports you to this area. Alright, so we're going to go back up top side, because I believe this is the right, okay. this is the right way, so we're gonna go back up topside to the first floor. I don't want to go and stay downstairs with the elevator because I want it to be right upstairs for whoever needs it. And that way they don't have to call it. Now this is a participating thing with the clan, so I can get 36,000 endo just from that. And that's something you can do like every so often. I gotta just go to the decoration to see what exactly that was I just did. I know it was something where the clan members can come here and within this period of time of 72 hours you can get endo if you participate in it, but I gotta figure out what it was exactly. A place to pledge allegiance to the clan so that it may ascend to the next rank. Yeah. I think I just did a no-no on this one. Rank 8. Oops! Things got a little bit more expensive, I think, but oh well. This is where you will go to trade, or you can trade by pressing down and pressing triangle to set up a shop. Welcome to the Warframe's trading system. Here you can trade in-game items and platinum with other tenno. The first rule of trading in Warframe is to only trade in-game items that are available in the trade window. Albeit some people don't really follow that rule, so therefore they trade or attempt to trade, attempt being the keyword, attempt to trade PlayStation money or Xbox money or cough cough nudes or whatever else and all this other stuff. It's stupid, but some people do it, some people attempt it and whatnot. So trade at your own risk, I guess. Attempting to trade items outside of the game is considered a violation of the terms of service or the EULA. To learn more about the safe trading practices, hover over the tips icon in the trade window. Hitting accept means that you have read and understood the above. Happy safe trading tenno. Accept. And then from here you can add in whatever mods or items that you want to trade, and then accept and then trade with another player. So if I were to do this, I can say I want to trade one of my mods. I'll just select the cheap mod or whatever, or I'll just select this. This mod is currently attached to... Okay, so we'll not trade that. We'll just search vitality, because I have a whole bunch of vitality, so... Vitality. We hit offer this item. We can hit this for the tips, or we can hit square for trading policy. And then we can hit circle to exit out, or we can hit triangle to accept. And we do this. And when we do this, we can walk around, and above our heads, other players that see us will see what we're offering to trade people. So if they want it, they can come up to you and they can hit square or whatever and offer to accept that trade, and they can then bring up. They will then be brought up to this menu, as well as you. The person trading will have been put in this menu as well, so you can see what you are offering for them, and they will see what you'll be able to see what they're offering for your trade that you want, and you can either accept it or deny it. And if you deny it, you go back, and then you just go back to here. I have 2 trading stations, I believe, so that way 8 people can trade if they really wanted to. Now, the people who are starting the trade have to be here and click on it. But anyone who is being offered to trade can be anywhere in the dojo. They just have to be here in the dojo. They can't be outside the dojo. And then just going down through these halls, we will then get to the research area, which is the next one right here. Oh wait, I actually, wow. I got so turned around. Okay. Alright, so this is the trading, not trading, this is the research hall, which is where all the research is done. So, you press square or just click on this to contribute, and then you contribute what you have, or you can contribute all, and you can contribute all by pressing triangle or square to contribute. I'm not going to contribute because that's all I have. Okay, so each area, research-wise, has its own thing. So this is like an infested one. So this will be where mainly your infested weapons and infested stuff will be, as well as your health stuff. So your health restores. These ones are like a newer one, so this one will be a large one, which will then make 10 large health restores. This one is just your medium one, which will be 1 medium health restore. This one is a it's a large health restore for your squad, just like with these. But the difference between this one and this one is this one makes 10. This one makes 100, so it makes 10 times more than this one does. Obviously, you're going to be paying the contribution equivalent, so instead of spending 9,000 for 10, you're spending 90,000 for 100. Instead of spending 450 polymer bundles, you're spending 6,000 circuits. Instead of spending 2,700 nanospores, you're spending 40,000. So maybe not 10 times more, but you're spending definitely a lot more than you would for this, with the idea of maybe saving a bit of your crafting equipment. And so each one has their own research stuff. So you have your infested, you have your Grenier, and then you have your Tenno and your energy. So I believe this one over here is the energy lab, I think. Yeah, energy lab. So this will be where your corpus stuff, as well as your just like energy based weapons will be, as well as your energy and shields. So you have the larger energy restores and the larger shield restores, as well as your energy-based weapons. Now Helios is a sentinel that will scan enemies and stuff and items, so he will be useful if you don't want to have a synthesis scanner, or you don't want to have a codex scanner, and you want to have progress made in those scanning department areas, but you don't want to do all the hard work. You can just equip a Helios, and he will automatically scan enemies, items, and everything around you that can be scanned. He will do that for you, so that way it takes out a lot of the hard work. But the thing is he requires a codex scanner and stuff like that. So the thing is, the idea to get the most out of your Helios is to put some effort into this Chimeras stuff. And with the Chimeras, you can get the Chimeras synthesis scanner, and there is a mod for the synthesis scanner that you can get from Chimeras himself, and that will give the synthesis scanner unlimited charges, meaning you will never ever have to worry about the scans ever again with the Helios. So that way the Helios will just do all your work for you when it comes to the scanning department. And then we go over to the Tenno lab, which is right here, the final one. This one will have your Warframes as well as your Archwings. So you will have Banshee, Wukong and Neza, as well as Vault and Zephyr. And then you're gonna have the Itzel and the Electron and the Amesha Archwings, as well as some Archwing weapons, not a lot, but some. And then you will have the parts for those Warframes as well. Wukong and Neza, I believe, and also Zephyr. Those are the three exclusive Warframes to the Clan Dojo. So in order to get these three Warframes, you especially have to be in a Clan Dojo or visit a Clan Dojo where you can get the parts as well as the blueprint. Or I guess you could just buy the blueprint from the marketplace with credits, but still, like, And anything that you buy or anything you get, I mean, from the dojo itself, like anything that you replicate, so like the blueprints or the parts, you replicate them with cost of credits. So everything that you get from a dojo, you still pay out. You just don't get them for free just for researching it. You have to pay the replication cost for the blueprints, as well as the cost it will cost you to make the blueprint part or the blueprint as a whole. So like 15,000, so 30, 45,000 for the parts, and then another 25,000 for the actual Warframe itself. So just to go back, so there are also some Tenno or whatever weapons, along with some other stuff that's pretty useless, but whatever. Then you also have a cipher, so instead of making 10 ciphers, you can make 100. But again, the ciphers, which I forgot to mention, cannot be used in the sorties. So if you have a sortie mission that has hacking, you cannot use the cipher in the sortie mission. You have to manually do the hacking. So it is important to, at the very least, get used to being fast at hacking, so that way you can handle doing a hack if anything is required of it in a sortie mission, so you don't fail it and miss out on doing that mission, or so that way you don't get frustrated with not being able to get that sortie mission done. Now also in the Tenno lab over here in the right corner is your dojo's paint, which you have to also research. So I have this one paused. I can actually start this one because I've already completed this one down here, the orange, which once you've completed the contribution right here, you can contribute it. But like once you've contributed these, you then in turn also have to wait the time period that it has to research it. So it will take 36 hours after contributing the resources to then in turn make the purple dye, which you can then do this. When you do have the dye, you can do this, and you can go to your decorations, and then polymer chrome, and then you can just place this down, and then you can go to this, activate it, and then preview colors or change room colors. And then what you can do is you are brought up with this, and this is your dojo colors that you have. I only have this one color, so I can only see what this one looks like, or I can only, you know, select this one to change it to. I'm not gonna mess with the colors just yet until I have all these done. Now, as you will see, you can't click on the empty space right here. Normally you could, but you have to just hover over it like this, and then you can. Now, obviously the lights weren't something you could probably notice, but over here by the stairs are some lights. If you just watch by the stairs, you can see that the lights do change based off the colors, so. Alright, so now we can just remove this. And then next in the line is the dry dock. So we can go to the navigation, or we can do fast travel. I don't think there's anything navigation-wise that I have in the dojo, so I don't think I can actually select this. But if I did have a navigation room, I would be able to fast travel to the navigation by doing this. Equipment, I don't think I have an arsenal, but maybe it'll just go to the railjack for this. Yeah, just send me to the railjack.
Meditation. If we do not control the enemy,
so if you had a arsenal included in your dojo, if you put like an arsenal thing down, you could use that. But let's just fast travel back to the Tenno lab. Alright, so when you fast travel too, by the way, it'll automatically open this up, so just be prepared for whatever research lab you're going to when you fast travel to it. It is going to open up that research tab. So we're gonna have this. Now this is gonna be where I would add in the barracks. The barracks will be what you add to increase the size of your dojo. So you have other rooms like the other labs, just some pathway rooms that will lead up to another room. You will have the barracks, and then you will have the reactors. You will have the observatory is where you would do the navigation stuff. Then there's the obstacle course, and then the obstacle course that you can make your own obstacle course out of. But again, you have the barracks that you can add, and it will tell you how much power you need for this room to be added. So it'll say it will take up 1 energy. It'll take up 1 for the capacity on your clan, and then from here, it'll just show you what it looks like on the map, how much space it'll take up. So this inspiration hall will take up both doors in this area. This empty great hall is a blank slate awaiting inspired designers. So this is basically where clan members could go in here and just add decorations and stuff to help other members of the clan get inspired to go out and either do missions or inspire them to do any room design as well. Maybe even get them inspired to do anything on like other games like Destiny or Minecraft or whatever. And then this is a dueling room, which where 2 people can actually duel and fight and practice and see what their builds look like on other players in the game. Now I seem to have something going on in Alliance chat. I don't know what that is. The Seed Wolfpack is now researching anti-violet. Please visit Dojo Tenna Labs to contribute. That is the clan chat, not the Alliance chat, my bad. This is the Dojo chat, or the squad chat, depending on if you're in a squad or not. This is the Alliance chat. So let's just take a look at the dojo is now researching. Please visit the dojo to contribute. All right. So now after coming from this room, we will then be going into the dry dock, which is that massive room right there. Now I also have an opening over this way because I do plan on wanting to expand to the point of having the navigation, but I also need to make this other hallway so it can expand outwards away from the dry dock. Now obviously I didn't want the dry dock to be installed this way, it was just how it was installed, I guess. I'm not gonna like remove it to then in turn reinstall it so that way I can have it be the way I want it, but it is what it is. And so yeah, that is my railjack. Well, you will normally come here when you're building a railjack and researching it and stuff, and then you will come over here, and this is where you research or build the railjack weapons. So I've got the Mark 1 and 2 weapons completed for research. I have some Mark 3 weapons researched and completed, just not all. Like I still have this one I have to complete, this one I have to complete, this one I have to complete, and this one I have to complete, as well as this one and this one, as well as parts for the railjack. So like your engines and your reactors and your arrays for shields. So your shield, your health and all that stuff. You can customize your railjack through here. So your parts, which you will find throughout railjack missions. In the squad, you will all get a part. They will just have different bonus stats. So I could be in a squad with a railjack, and we could all get a Zetki shield array Mark 3, but the bonus stats on it will be completely different. So I can have plus 49, 491 with shield capacity, and they could probably have plus 370 or whatever else it would be, or whatever. It wouldn't be that drastic, but it will still be different. And then you will have your armaments, so you will have weapons. I have this completed, but this can be used either as the forward artillery, or it could be used as the gunners or turrets, but I can't use it on both. I have to get another one of these, and then this is just for like the missiles or whatever if I wanted to use it. And then the avionics is basically simply put the mods for warframes and weapons, but they take up space here, which I need avionics capacity for. And I've already maxed these mods out, except for this one. This one doesn't have much on it, but I've maxed out all these, and all these do is basically add in right here. As you can see, it just adds on an additional 3 more ranks to that said mod without affecting the avionic capacity. So that way I can have, right now, at max rank for my bulkhead for my health on my railjack, it will have 6,060 for health. And the grid is basically where you click on and you donate Diarac, which is something you get on railjack missions in order to rank up these slots. So that way they have a bonus on your mods that you put on. You click on avionics, and that will allow you to rank up the mods that you have on your railjack. As you will see, this one's only been ranked up once, and these ones have been maxed out. Then you have, if you were to click on this, you can then see all of your avionics, how many you have of each, what kind of house they are. They will all have different ones. Now, these 9 slots are for your avionics. Then you have 3 down here for your tactical slots, and 3 down here for your battle slots. I don't have any battle mods or battle avionics, but I do have a couple tactical ones. Basically, Void Cloak is a good one because it turns your railjack invisible for 25 seconds and reduces the speed of your engines to 20%. So that way you can move a whole lot more slower but not be seen by your enemies. And then, well, actually no, for me it's because I have a max rank one that's I'm cloaked from enemies for 50 seconds, so almost a minute, and my speed is reduced by 50% instead of 20. And then fire suppression, so it's basically like just an anti-fire suppression like system kind of thing. Temporarily stalls the hull breach for 35 seconds, and then battle forge, which will reduce the forge cost, forge cooldown. I mean, so when it comes to your tactical, the go-to ones that you want to have are, in my opinion, the Void Cloak and the Battle Forge, and that's as far as the ones that I have. Maybe the fire suppression, maybe, because the fires can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but you also have electricity that you gotta deal with, and the hull breaches. So, like, I don't know. I feel like that would just make them pointless. Then you also have the payloads, which is basically the revolatile or revolite or whatever. I don't know how I could screw that up. Flux energy, munitions, and the dome charges. All of which you could do right here in the Claim Dojo right now, or you could do it on the fly in the mission on the railjack. But you want to preferably do it in the dojo first before you do the railjack mission, so you can go into the railjack mission fully prepared. Intrinsics is the leveling system for the railjack. Mine is 5565 because, as you can see, it's very costly when it comes to the intrinsics. Right now I only have 20 that's available to me, so if I want to rank up any of these at all, I at the very least need 12 for either engineering, piloting, or tactical. And then this is the customization, so I can customize the way it looks on the outside. I can rename it, and then the name will be displayed on your railjack in whatever color you decide to have it for the primary text. Then you have your glyph, your profile picture or whatever, that you can have displayed on your railjack. And you have your railjack skin, which I have one, so this is the default skin for the railjack. And then that one's mine. It's not too different, but it's different enough where it at least looks a little bit more better in my opinion. And then this is another one that you could get. Now obviously this part of the railjack is lifted up, but it would go down and then in a little bit, so it's not just going to be hovering there like that. And then you have the wear and tear on your ship, so you can have it look a little bit more battle worn, or like it's sitting around or being used a lot. I have mine on 0 because I want it to look brand new and actually taken care of. Then you have your color and all that. You can even also randomize it. You can also reset everything to default. You can randomize everything, so that means everything's completely random. And then you can also press L1 to toggle the interior, and you can change the way the interior looks color scheme wise, but that's about it. Nothing really gets changed on the inside, and that is the railjack stuff. And so that is me having had covered the dojo and the clan stuff. So that should, for the most part, be just about everything. I haven't really covered particularly like missions as a whole, but it's basically something I will go over in just a quick second when we get back to the orbiter. So missions as a whole, missions that you have already completed, you will see like this. They will be white. They will not be like, hey, you haven't done me. It's, hey, look at me. But when you have all the missions completed on a planet, you'll get things like these, which are nightmare missions. And those will be harder, and they will have challenges that you will be correlating with them. So with this one, it's vampire mode, so I believe I lose health or something like that over time, or I lose energy. I can't remember exactly. And so when you go through, they also have Kuva missions, or flood missions. Yeah, Kuva flood missions. And then you have an Arcwing mission. Missions that take place on a ship. Again, an Arcwing mission will be signified by a Excalibur with an Arcwing like that. And you'll also see like a ship if it's on a ship mission, so a mission on a ship or whatever. The Void is, well, it's the Void. You don't really have anything particularly special going on here. You also have the extractors, by the way. If I were to press L3 for the drone, I can press R3 to deploy an extractor. An extractor cannot be deployed in the Void or the Derelict, but you can see using the extractor what resources drop in the Void or the Derelict. And then if I want to drop an extractor somewhere, like say on Venus, I can pull one out, I can deploy it, I can pick one. It will have a health bar, so that means when it's done extracting, which will tell you when it's done extracting. So if I were to just do this,
Operator, are you visualizing
it'll
a bloody battle?
be like, hey, I don't know when I'm going to be extracting soon. Then you just back away from it, you just do this, you just let it do its thing for a little bit, you just walk around, whatever, and then you come back to it. You also want to remember where you put the extractors, because it's not going to tell you that you have an extractor here. So you want to remember what planets you put an extractor on, press it, and it will have the data for it, like later on. Eventually, it'll tell you like it's got like a couple more hours, like right here. I can't see it all that well because of the mission, but if I were to kind of zoom out with my right analog stick, because you can push up to zoom in and down on the right analog stick to zoom in and out. So if I were to just zoom out a little bit, I can press R3, and right here it says it has another 8 hours basically, and it has full health, or I can retrieve it now. And then you press the left analog stick, so left analog stick on the navigation will switch between your extractors and your Nightwave stuff. And so that's basically about it with the whole mission and stuff, except when it comes to new missions, the way you tell if it's a new mission or not is, like for you, if you're a new player, it'll look something like this. If I just go to my Railjack to show off what new missions will look like for a new player, I'm going to use Railjack missions as an example, because that's the only thing I don't have fully completed right now, is Railjack stuff. Normally, because I don't really have much progress done in the way of Railjack, or not many people to play Railjack with, other than randoms. This is what a Railjack or not Rearjack. This is what a normal mission would look, a normal planet would look like for you in the way of missions. So if you have missions you have to do, they'll have that blue and they'll make a noise and they'll flash, saying, "Hey, you haven't done me. You need to do me, or you still have this as to do." In Rearjack, there's going to be like this little bubble and a whatever that will basically be like, "This is a mission you don't have unlocked. You can't do this mission yet." It doesn't show its name, but on your orbiter for your normal missions, it will have the name. It will have its little diamond there, but it'll be locked, saying that you can't do that because you haven't done the mission that requires you to unlock this mission. So if you were to go back to my orbiter, I can actually show what that would look like. So for me to do Lateries right here, I have to first do Terminus, and if I haven't done M prime, then I haven't unlocked Terminus. So in order to unlock Lateries, I have to first do M prime, which is a crossfire exterminate, meaning I have to fight Grineer and an infested, and then after doing that I have to do another crossfire, Grineer versus infested, on Terminus to then finally unlock Lateries, a defense mission where I'm fighting infested. So you just follow these lines and follow along a path, and wherever the last missions are, or the further along the line the mission is, the more of a progress it is that you have to make, because you have to go do this mission, then do this mission to have this whole line completed, as well as doing these two to have these two lines completed, and then you have this mission you have to do in order to unlock these missions right here. Albeit you're going to end up doing Telesto anyways, or Tosta, however the hell you want to pronounce that. You're going to end up doing this mission anyway, so this mission is probably going to be already completed for you, because that's the assassination of Vor, and that's part of Captain Vor's prize, so there's that. So even though you complete missions on Earth, Venus, and Mercury, that doesn't necessarily mean that these missions are going to be unlocked for you right off the bat. You still have to do the Venus Junction and the Mercury Junction in order to unlock these, but also in order to do the Mercury Junction, I think you need to do stuff on Mars, I think. And also, in order to get Oban parts, by the way, to drop, in order to get his parts to drop, you have to get lucky enough to have an Exilus enemy to spawn and then drop the part for you. So there's that. There's also going to be, if I switch to a Warframe that will have it, say like my Ivara Prime, because I think she has it. There's another thing that you want to take note of. So on your Warframe's neck right here, as you can see it, you can't really see it too well, but it's there. So if I were to go to maybe helmets, and maybe just get it like that, so you can kind of see a little bit more better. Right on her neck, there's like a little pimple thing. That is what you use to get a helmet charger from your Kubro egg. You just contribute that once it's fully developed, I guess, on your neck. Or if you have it, you can come here to get rid of it, because this door will only open if you have that little pimple on your neck. You come here, you interact with this, and you cure it. And so, seeing as I don't have that on my neck anymore...
No! Have you lost your mind?
Let's just let everything happen the way it has to happen. Come on. Hurry up, guys. Alright, is the door closed? No, it's still open. Oh my god. Alright. This is your operator room. This is where you will find your story-related stuff going on here. This is your personal quarters. This will be something you will unlock when you do stuff on Cetus or the Plains of Eidolon. This is where you can display a Warframe that you like, or have loadout that you like, that you want to display. This is where you'll be able to have fish. And then I bought one for here. So I have a center one for more fishes, so I just have a lot of fishes that I can show off. And then this is the Ludoplex, which is where the games will be found. So Happy Zephyr, Wormius, or Frame Fighter. You have decorations, you have a music thing, so you can have music playing, or you can just have it turned off by just having the music muted. And also, if you have Octavia and you have custom-made songs that you made with remainder chord, and maybe you like those songs, you can also come here as well to use those songs to have playing on your orbiter. So, Alone by Marshmallow, I've got that song made, so I can just play this and just. Or now, another thing you want to take note of is that when you do an emote like that, like a dance, you can't move or do anything until you redo that emote to stop it. Now, this is also where you can also meditate if you want to just look out at the space, depending on if you have a good surrounding, I guess. But that whole stand prompt kind of just ruins the whole immersion of the whole thing, but whatever. Alright, so you normally will get assist if you play with another player that has your assist already, or if you play with another player who is using the Warframe Nidus, and Nidus is the infested frame, which this isn't what his normal skin looks like. This is him with his deluxe skin on, which you will see his skin, both normal and the deluxe version, will mutate and change depending on his stacks that he has, which will be something that will be a part of his ability, the way his abilities work, basically. So he will normally look like this at the start of a mission in his deluxe skin, by the way. Yeah. And then the more he uses his abilities, the more stronger he becomes. He starts to look like this. You can kind of see the difference, kind of. But normally this is what he would look like. Obviously I have some extra stuff and then a sign down on him, which I'm not going to just take off just because I don't want to have to go through all the process of taking everything off and everything. But yeah, there is also a Tenogen skin that someone made, so someone's already made a skin for him, which will have a skin and a helmet, which will look like this. And then if I want to preview what it looks like when he has his mutations, I'll have to go out of the skin. This is what his mutation looks like normal, with his normal skin. Just nothing too eventful. It looks kind of weird, kind of a little freaky. He has another helmet that I already have, which is right here, which mutation-wise will look like this. And then mutation-wise, he has another helmet that I don't have, which is this. And then when the mutation is activated, his helmet looks like this when I preview it. Because the mutations do stick if you were to go to the preview. And then the Tenogen skin, when the mutations are in effect, looks like this. Which versus the mutations being in effect will look like this. So everything kind of like opens up a bit. So there's that. So you will get assist from someone who plays as Nidus, or from someone who has already played with the Nidus and still has assist on them. It will then transfer over to you, and you will also get it, so it spreads. So you will only be able to open up that door if you have assist, or if you have a Nidus equipped. So now that door has finally stopped being buggy and decided that it wants to close, if I were to go to a Warframe that doesn't have assist, like going back to my Excalibur Umbra, you will notice that the door won't open because I don't have the assist, or I'm not wearing Nidus. There are upgrades for the incubator, by the way, too, that you will want to get, because your Kubro and Kavat can die if you don't have certain upgrades for it. So if I were to go and look at my inventory, I believe, I can just do incubator, I think. I can just search up incubator, and that should help get me to where I need to be. Incubator, no. Okay, so I can't see that. So I will have to maybe I'll have to go to the marketplace, because I think you could buy it with at the marketplace too. So let me just try that real quick. The new trio incubator upgrade segment. This is what you want to get from your clan dojo. The upgrades the Arbiter's incubator with the following features. Stasis recovery is immediate. Reduced price of stabilizers. Egg incubation is reduced by a day. So instead of 2 days, it's 1 day. Stabilizers last twice as long. And then there's the Kavat one. There's another upgrade, I think, somewhere along the lines that basically means that, like, when you go to your Kubro or your Kavat, you have this whole system. The loyalty basically is what depends on the damage. So your Kubro or your Kavat could be doing 100% more damage, or it could be just normal damage or less than normal damage. And then this is the health it has. So it has 90% more health. And then you can just use the stabilizers, which you can buy with credits, and I can buy them in bulk. I haven't bought the stabilizers in like months, maybe a year or two, because they last that long, really. So there's that, at least with all the upgrades applied and stuff. And then, so I'll just do this real quick, just because I have the abundance on it. And then, so say your Kubro or your Kavat's health gets really, really low and they're about to die. If you have the upgrades for it properly, instead of dying, they'll, for whatever reason, they just will still be around. They won't die. They'll be like that, unless they fixed it and the Kubros and Kavets won't die. I'm not sure if they made any changes in that department, but yeah, you can pet your Kubro and your Kavat. I didn't mean to do that though, but yeah. And then you have your incubator. But normally, if their health gets a little bit too low, what they do is, with the upgrade, is they automatically put your Kubro or your Kavat into stasis, and that will allow you to pull them out of stasis to then use the genetic stabilizers that will help stabilize the DNA. So that should be about everything. I mean, there is the Sentinels, like the Helios, the Carrier, and all that other stuff, but that's not necessarily needed. I mean, if you really want, if you have a Kubro or a Kavat, a really, really handy mod that you want to have is Fetch for the Kubro or the Kavats or the Hellmouth. Fetch works a lot like Vacuum on the Sentinels. It just basically auto-detects mods, items, and all that other stuff, and it sucks it up and pulls it to you so you can automatically collect it. Because without Fetch, without Vacuum, without those kind of mods, you have to automatically, or not automatically, you have to manually run or walk over things to pick them up, and that gets really, really annoying. So if you get a Kavat or a Kubro or a Hellmouth, you want to have Fetch. Now, if you don't have a Kubro, Kavat, or anything like that, you have to go with the Sentinels. Your best bet is to go with like a Carrier or a Helios, more preferably a Helios, so you can get that scanning on the stasis and synthesis scanner or whatever. What you preferably want is to always be able to have vacuum, which will look like this. Obviously, fetch is stronger because this has 11.5 meter on its range, whereas if you were to go to fetch on a Cooper or a Kavat, because that was a maxed out mod for vacuum, and this is maxed out mod for fetch. Fetch has a 13.5 meter range, so you have like an extra like 2 meter range for pickup on stuff like that. So that's just another really important thing you want to take note of. Obviously, the vacuum will still work as good as it will work at all. So even if you don't have a Cooper or a Kavat, you're not missing out on much if you don't have fetch or don't have a Cooper and Kavat. So if you just want to rock a Helios or a carrier and just rock the vacuum mod, you can do that. That is just fine. For the majority of the time playing Warframe, a lot of people rocked solely just a Helios or a carrier for the sole purpose of using vacuum, so that way they could play the game with a vacuum mod on. But because fetch exists, then people are now running with whatever they want. They can run a Sentinel, so a Helios or a carrier, again mainly a Helios, or they'll run with their favorite pet, a Kavat or a Kubro, and you just throw on fetch, and it just makes everyone's life a whole lot more easier. So yeah, there is that. That should be just about everything. This is going to be a long video, and if you've managed to sit through all the whole thing, you should have enough knowledge now to play the game and kind of get interested in it. And by the way, because you probably noticed it, I do have gold trimming on my orbiter right here. You probably won't. No, that does not mean I've been playing it for a long time. That's actually a Twitch Prime thing, as you'll probably see right here. So it's a Twitch Prime reward stuff. So free with Twitch Prime, it'll open up a menu. I don't think I'll be able to show it, but there's that. And so then, yeah, in order to apply it, you just come to your equipment, orbiter, and orbiter appearance. So you have the scene. So I have this. I also have the Japanese or Chinese or whatever decorations, which will look like this, I think, right? You have these Chinese like a festival like theme going on for your ship, just up here. It's not gonna affect the rest of your ship down this way or anywhere else. It's just gonna affect right here where your navigation stuff is. And then you have a Christmas theme for it as well. So that has now snow, some little other details like lighting, the snowman, and should have some kind of like Christmas like bell shaking stuff going on too, but maybe that's part of my music. I'm not really sure. Nope. Actually, no, everything's turned on, and you just heard it, so there's that. That's what that sounds like. So we'll just go back to my order appearance and switch everything back to the way it is. And just like with the railjack, there is also a wear and tear on the orbiter, which that doesn't affect anything other than down this way, I believe. So equipment, orbiter, appearance. Let me just do the wear and tear and just. It's stupid. It's annoying. I don't know why people would play the game like this, but I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. You're probably gonna have the wear and tear default turned on your railjack and your orbiter, so you probably want to go into that settings and adjust that to the way you want it to be. So there's that. Again, I did discuss at some point earlier on, way earlier on in the video, that you're probably going to have some starting platinum because you're a new player and all that. And I would tell you where to invest that money in. If it's 100 platinum, because again, I haven't had a new account in like forever. What that new 100 platinum would be best spent on is, because when you have a Warframe or account, or when you first start off, you have your primary selected Warframe that you start off with, whether that be Excalibur, Mag, or Vault, and then you will have one Warframe slot left. You will have like maybe a couple more slots left for like weapons and other stuff that you will have to look at your inventory to actually see. So what you do is you go to your equipment, you go to your inventory, you go to your Warframe, so that'll be right here. You go just over one tab, and you can buy a Warframe slot for 20 platinum. Warframe slot, 2 open slots. It'll tell you how many slots you have open, as well as what the cost is for another one. So I have 2 open slots, so right down here you'll be able to see. So for you as a new player, you will have it looking like this, where you can buy a slot, you'll have your Excalibur or your Mag or Vault, and then you're going to have immediately right next to that another slot open. So you'll be able to see how many slots you have. And the same thing will go for your weapons. You can just look where your weapons are. You'll see how many weapon slots you have available. I have 2 more, and in order to get more, it will cost you 12 for 2 slots. And then the same for your robotics, or aka your sentinels. A sentinel will always come with a sentinel and their weapon that is associated with them. And buying slots will be 2 slots, again, for 12 plat. And then there's also another set of slots that you have to worry about, which is, well, not really worry about, but is tied to amps, and that's for 2 for 12. I have 7 available. I've never bought an amp slot yet, so this just goes to show I've made my default one that you first make, and then I've made my very first own custom-made one, and I still have 7 more slots left. So therefore means you don't ever have to worry about these. That will be something that you will be set with. Then you have your Arc 1 weapon slots. I've only made the default Orbiter, Odinana ones, not Orbiter, Odinana weapons, so the Imperator and the Veritux. This is the only one I've made that I haven't really used, the Kasaz. I have 1 more slot available. In order to get more, that will cost me 12 slots for 2 Arc 1 weapons. I have the Odinana and the Odinana Prime, the Mesha, and I have 1 more slot available. In order to get more, that will be 12 platinum for a vehicle inventory slot. So that would also mean K drives, I believe. Another thing that you will need to worry about when it comes to slot wise are ribbon mods, because you have a limited amount of ribbons that you can hold at one time. Ribbon mods aren't something you're gonna really worry too much about, but they're right here in this slot right here in your mods. These are known as unveiled ribbon mods.